Well, we're just days away from permanently changing our address. So here I am again at the property, but we've been really busy for the last couple of weeks with constant trips down here. So we'll take a look at a little bit of what we've done, accomplished, explored. A lot going on. Well, as you know, we originally got our truck and trailer stuck trying to get in here on one of the old timbering roads. So the first thing we had to accomplish was getting the driveway put in. But right in the middle of all that happening, we found out they were going to deliver the Connex building for us to store our household goods. So things were a little crazy for a couple of days trying to get everything prepped and get a road base so that Connex could get back here. But we managed to pull it off. Our Connex storage building has just arrived, and they've literally finished this driveway area right in the nick of time. In fact, you can see over there he's still compacting it. We've got kind of a teardrop shape just to help the trucks get in and out for now. But that Connex is going to be parked here in the middle out of the way, and that's going to be where our household goods live until the house is ready. So we're making progress out here, and much faster than expected. On the ground. We're just trying to level it now, somewhat, so all our boxes don't tip forward.
It's kind of nice. You see, I kept losing my mallet, so I painted it orange. I keep putting it down.
I think the Connex is more exciting.
You think the Connex is more exciting?
Than your mallet, yeah.
All right, well,
We're ready to move.
Yeah, we're ready to move.
Got a few minor little things we got to get out of the way first.
Impressive watching that guy weave around these trees and stick it right between them all. He's got about 12 inches of spacing on either side of those trees. He hardly even slowed down.
When the excavator finished clearing up the driveway and getting it all rocked and ready, before he left, he cleared the spot where we planned to put the house. This allowed us to get in and measure and kind of set up a perimeter and really get a feel for where the house was going to be situated.
Just thought I'd give you an idea of the cleared area for the house. So I was hoping originally to keep those two trees, but I don't think that's going to be nearly as beneficial as keeping the trees on the east and the west, and that could make it easier for the build too. So my objective is to try to keep some of those trees over there, knock out that afternoon sun. This tree will come out here, that's the entrance to the house, and one of the trees will come out there, and then it looks like this goes right down into the pond area. So all this drainage off the top here is going right down into the pond. So that's a good thing. It's got good watershed.
The driveway was finally in, and it was time to start hauling stuff from the other property. One of the big tasks we had decided to take on was hauling about 12,000 pounds of brick we had. Now, as you know, we have plenty of brick in the woods down here, but these bricks were a little unique, and we thought it'd be kind of nice to bring a piece of Petersburg with us.
So we're back down at the property, and the only thing we brought was a chicken tractor, somewhat disassembled. But then on the floor, you can see we brought 8,000 pounds of brick. Now this brick was torn up from a road in Petersburg, Illinois And I'd like to show you here, Culver Block Company, patent May 21st, 1901. And every single one of these blocks is marked. This is a 9.5 pound brick. This is not what you buy at Home Depot or Lowe's. It is an old style, 100 and some year old paver that they used to do roads back in the old days. So we just hated leaving it up there on the property because you just don't find this stuff anywhere. So we've got a plan for a patio on the side of the house that's going to use these, but you got to haul them, and you don't want to overload your trailer because again, this is 8,000 pounds of brick loaded by hand, and you probably guessed it, Danielle and I are going to unload it by hand. So here we go. So that's it. We've got the trailer completely cleaned out. We've got these on pallets. Probably have to split them up into smaller pallets in order to move them. And it's about 4,000 pounds per pallet. So we got it all done, and we got to lock up, pack up, and head home.
After Sean and I did our trip down, he then brought a load of kids with him and found out there's a lot faster way to do it.
So we show up and I turn around 2 minutes later and here are the kids on top of the shipping container. I didn't realize we had installed a playground. I really thought it was supposed to store our household goods, but apparently it's just a big jungle gym. Makes you wonder how a 4.5-foot kid climbed up on a 9-foot shipping container.
A 4.5-foot kid.
I don't
He's
know.
talking about me, a 4.5.
Probably went up the door latches in the front. You gonna jump? There you go.
I made it down.
The kids have had their fair share of fun encountering the wildlife down here. Now, the first critters they encountered were a bit of a shock. They were actually trying to move a pipe, large, roughly 8-inch diameter pipe, and our older daughter, Michaela, heard some scratching sounds coming from deep inside. But it was a black pipe, very long. She couldn't see what was in there, so they just kind of stepped back and tapped to see what would happen. Well, they were in for a surprise, and man, were they lucky. All right, Kayla. Oh, there he is! Skunk!
Where is he? I can't get him on.
Ruth, if you can get him on video, I'm going to be furious at him.
Oh, you were so cute. I know.
All right, Ruth. He's right there sniffing around at the end. There he is. Oh, you're gonna... I want him to spray us so we can just stop.
Nathan, no, he's not going to spray us. Now there's sticky stuff in there.
And he's out here where it's been cut. Yeah. He can get his head. Found a very large black snake down in the
Drop
woods.
his tail, see how long he is. I think he's as tall as you. You were 5 foot.
Yeah, he's a good 4.5, 5 feet. Wow.
I'm away from us over here. Oh, there's a crawdad right there. Hi, buddy.
There's some big ones.
Yeah, he's a good sized one.
Oh, I see him. Where?
Yeah.
He is big.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Wait, Kayla. My boots are over a foot.
Nathan. Oh, he's swimming. He did grab onto your boot.
One of the disappointments we had when we got down here was to discover we don't have a lot of black walnut trees. Now, if you've watched our videos for any length of time, you know how much we love making syrup. But thankfully, while exploring the woods, Sean found a couple fun little items, but he also found no shortage of trees for syruping.
So on the new property, we've been looking for walnut trees to tap, and we found very few black walnuts, but I began to search out for some maple trees, and I think I found it, although I think this is the red maple, not the sugar maple, but you can tap. There's a lot of different varieties of maple, and so this monster is it's about a 3-foot diameter trunk, and he really goes up there quite a ways. So we are walking around trying to identify. We are in a very low area and very wet, and I know maples like that down there. So it's probably red maple, but there's several different types. So I'm gonna walk around, get some leaves, and see if I can do some identification down here. Up on top, where the home site is, we have a ton of tulip trees. So just identifying the trees. Just a quick idea of how big some of these trees are. That's probably close to 24-inch diameter, but this is the impressive part. I don't see a single branch until about 30 feet. Okay, now I need an arborist. Maples like to live together in families, but they're not the same species, so I've got at least 3 different types here. Maybe a red in the middle, maybe a sugar maple on the left. I don't know. I am not an arborist, but maybe Danielle can help me identify them. This is an interesting find. Nathan happened upon it. Looks like a well, kind of. It's got a stone structure on the outside. Definitely stones on the outside, and it is a circle. But it's all filled in, and this is a very low portion of the property where water runs through, so typically you don't put a well down on a low area like this because the surface water contaminates it. But it's interesting, definitely a man-made structure.
Now that the driveway was in and the Connex was set up, we were ready to bring down our household goods. That's when the trips really began and things got crazy busy.
Well, we're starting to move our household goods. We got the shipping container down there at the property. So now we've pulled the boxes out of the garage, and this is a 24-foot stock trailer, so that's a good 12 feet of boxes plus the gooseneck there. We're going to shove to the back and start getting some barn shelves and start the move. Got to clean out this house. It'll take a while. I got to brag a little bit about my little boy. He's my director of operations. Look at this. He backed me up. He backed this massive trailer between trees in the mud after rains. Backed me up to where I am right on the edge of this shipping container. Put a little block under here, and we should be able to come right off the trailer and right into the shipping container. Good job, Nathan. Excellent work. Well, we're getting close. We've got the lumber mill all loaded up, and we are unloading it here on the property. So we only have a matter of days before the RV shows up here, and we are living here full time. So let's get this thing off. Well, if you think we're crazy, you really think we're crazy now. We just picked up a beauty here. It's a Kenmore wringer washer, probably from the 1940s. We're trying to figure out, but believe it or not, we have the operating instructions and the user's manual right here. Sears Roebuck, all original. This was used up until about 10 years ago when an elderly lady was sent to a nursing home and her son left it in the basement. Works fine. We plugged it in. It works great. And this is going to be part of our off-grid experience. and you'll get to see that a little bit later on.
Since the property was finally in the process of being set up, it was time to make it official. Now, when you get an address assigned to a new property, it's a little bit of a process. First, we had to call the postmaster, who gives you some instructions on what to purchase and whatnot. And then we had to call the 911 dispatch, who actually assigns the street number that you're going to live on, or your house number, if you will. After that, you purchase what they instruct you to do, and you get it all set up, and you contact the postmaster again for instructions on actually installing a mailbox. Well, we did everything as we thought we had been instructed, but as it turns out, it didn't quite work out that way.
The mailbox is going in. We officially have an address. And I gotta get this hole done before it gets dark. Well, it's official. We have a mailbox now. And we bought the big box so they can put packages in it. You can see it. 911 said, hey, make sure the number is visible so that they know where the house is. And we were all excited until we called the postmaster. Turns out we live kind of remote. And our house is about a half mile down this road behind me. You see, the Postal Service can't go down every single road and trail to get to people's houses. So in some instances, like this one, we actually had to put the mailbox way out here on the main county road. So I guess our plan went away, but it's a nice looking mailbox. And the postmaster, actually, because we're building a house back there, he said he's going to file for an extension and see if he can actually get permission to drive down there. So if that happens, it'll be nice. It won't be a half-mile walk to the mailbox, but I'll have to dig this one up and bring it all the way back down the road. Oh well.
Well, things are moving along really nicely at this point, and it's an exciting time for us. In our next video, we'll be showing you how we prepare raw land for the animals that we'll be bringing down, followed very shortly by the people and the camper. Our closing on our old farm is in about 2 weeks at this point, so we have a few extra trips to do to bring the rest of our stuff down, and then life starts. So be sure to stay tuned. If you've already subscribed, thank you for your support. If you haven't, be sure to click subscribe. You won't want to miss the upcoming adventures as we really set up house here at this new property. Feel free to leave a comment, and otherwise, thanks for watching.